Hi everybody, this is the Football Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the Football Hut. Hope you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. This channel's doing pretty good. Almost close to 500 subs. We're getting awfully close. Hope we'll get to 3,000 hours and get this channel partially monetized. This has been an undertaking the likes of which I've never done on this platform. It's been very difficult. A lot of competition on this platform if you don't know. With the NFL on CBS, Fox, NBC, ESPN, NFL Network. It is a bitch. We'll leave it at that. But did the Jets get their play calling done right this week? Did Joe Benigno of WFAN help in the play calling with Nathan Hackett? Well, that's a possibility. Because the Jets did something today that was incredible, and Zach Wilson showed up. Why he was named and made a number one pick 3 years ago. But before we get into that, hit that subscribe button. Here we go. So Joe Beningo, as you know, the past week he made a really fool out of himself. He's a semi-retired broadcaster on WFAN, on FAN, and of course he is nuts. He's nuts. He's been texting the coach of the Jets, Robert Saleh, all season long. I don't know how long he's been texting him for, but he's crazy. And but this past week, he's been texting Robert Saleh saying, "Look, I will send you the first 15 offensive plays for a Jets game to help the team win." I shit you not. This is from Awful Announcing. I did a video on this a few days ago. Hopefully, it'd be funny if this actually happened. Joe Benigno texted an offer to Robert Saleh to personally script the first 15 offensive plays for a Jets game. Quote, "He sent me back a very nice LOL on that, by the way. Oh, the pain." Joe Benigno got in hot water this week when he misinterpreted text messages with New York Jets head coach Robert Saleh. He had to apologize later after reporting that Saleh disliked quarterback Zach Wilson. After confessing to that mistake on stupidity this week with the host John Stugatz Weiner, as well as admitting to sending Saleh a 6-part treatise on how to fix the Jets. Longtime WFAN host Beningo let out another nugget for good measure. "Well, let me say this too, bro, and I don't think there's any problem with me saying this. I also offered to script the first 15 plays of the game last week for him. He sent me back I would mention, what do they say about him on the Ima show about Beningo? That he'd be the type that if he was on death row, he would scream out the last thing he'd be is the Jets are going all the way. That's what he would say. While Beningo didn't write out specific plays in the initial text to Saleh, he was pretty direct with what he wanted. Beningo also told Saleh he needed to get more involved in the play calling as head coach. However, Beningo stated that he has never called a single play for the Jets and only suggested ideas. "I will say this," he says again. "I had screamed for weeks that the first play should be a play-action bomb down the field. Now last week, even though freaking Boyle didn't throw it, I think that was the play because I think he was looking deep down the field." The beleaguered Jets fan took some solace that his message was, well, maybe finally being received. "Look, I don't know if I influenced that play call or not, but I have been pushing it for a long time already." I would mention maybe Nate Hackett was a little nervous that he might be losing his job to this guy. Maybe that's why. Now, here are the results of this past week against the Texans. This is from NBC Sports. Zach Wilson throws for 301 yards. C.J. Stroud hurt in 30-6 Jets win. I wouldn't mention Stroud. He left the game he left under concussion protocol. Jets quarterback Zach Wilson's return to the starting lineup couldn't have gone much better. When he got onto the field, I would say that he got a standing ovation. People were very happy to see him back. I think people want to give him a chance. There was a rumor earlier today that the Jets had informed Zach Wilson that sometime in this offseason they're going to trade him. I'm surprised I've heard that. Heard a lot of rumors about Wilson this past week. That was the one today. There was also a rumor during the beginning part of the week saying that Zach Wilson said that he did not want to go back behind the huddle. That he refuted. He said that did not happen. He did not say that. There are a lot of people in the organization that don't like Zach Wilson, just due to the fact they don't like the way he carries himself and whatnot. Wilson completed 27 of 36 passes for 301 yards and 2 touchdowns after spending the last 2 games on the bench in favor of Tim Boyle and Trevor Siemian. Wilson's big day led the way to a 30-6 Jets home win over the Texans. The loss is a blow to Houston's playoff hopes, and the loss was only part of the reason why this was a terrible day for the Texans. Quarterback C.J. Stroud was having a miserable day against the Jets defense and left the game with a concussion in the fourth quarter. Edge rusher Will Anderson, wide receiver Nico Collins, and linebacker Blake Cashman also left with injuries as the Texans fell out of playoff position in the AFC. Wilson's first touchdown pass went to Randall Cobb in the third quarter to break a scoreless tie and set things rolling for a surprisingly frisky Jets offense. They had 27 points in their previous 3 games, so a 30-point half was not something anyone was expecting to see from them on Sunday. It's almost certainly too late for their playoff hopes, but it's a positive ending to a week that included questions for head coach Robert Saleh about whether Wilson was resistant to returning to action after his benching. Saleh and Wilson were emphatic in their denials of such a notion, and Wilson's third highest passing yards in a game. It's a pretty good sign that he's comfortable running the offense. Again, another chance to do so. Miami's to just try to continue playing spoilers next week. Now, that's a big game, obviously. They would go down there and beat the Dolphins. They'd be, 6 and 8? It would kind of get them a little bit closer, but I don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if it's worth the Jets to bring him back. But I would say this, that hopefully Joe Benigno can find a way to get Zach Wilson to play better. Maybe he can threaten some other players or just say, I'm going to coach you. I'm going to teach you how to throw the football. I'm going to teach you how to make some plays. Maybe he can school Nate Hackett, get Hackett to, do a better job at his job. Obviously, he lit a fire under Nate Hackett, got him to, opening up this offense for Zach Wilson. And of course, normally I start with this insane asylum. I forgot to do in this video, but this is the kind of the insanity you get with WFAN. And of course, this is the kind of stuff you get at talk radio. I mean, talk radio has become like the bottom of the barrel when it comes to getting any kind of information on sports and any kind of entertainment is rather low. That is not that being entertaining is not their issue. It's not something that they really strive for. Insanity is what they strive for, people to listen and watch them if they're simulcast. So let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Baseball House as we continue to chronicle the insanity of WFAN.